Call on Government Order of the Day number 3.
Passports Amendment Bill number 2, interrupted debate on second reading.
Members, when we were last on the Passports Amendment Bill number 2, the next split call went to the Labor Party. Do they wish to take the 5-minute call?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I call Putter Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you for the opportunity to take a call on the Passports Amendment Bill number 2. Mr. Speaker, when we were last in the House debating this bill, I recall my colleague Adrian Rurifade referring to New Zealand passports as taonga, and I recall commenting on that at the time. New Zealand passports are taonga, Mr. Speaker. The value of a New Zealand passport on the international stage can't be diminished. We have a reputation in this country for being good global citizens and having a sense of responsibility to our fellow global citizens, and our passports are valued in that regard. Our New Zealand passports actually permit us to travel with a relative ease around the globe, given that they are held in such high regard, and New Zealand is considered a safe and secure country. So it is right and proper that we acknowledge the significance that we hold as New Zealanders carrying New Zealand passports. When we were previously talking about this, the member from Invercargill did make a comment about the huge inconvenience at the 5 years requiring to renew your passport every 5 years. I think, as I recall it, the statement was something like, and I'm paraphrasing, the worst thing ever to have to renew your passport every 5 years. And I think if you put that alongside house price inflation in Auckland, the number of children living in poverty, the fact that our health and safety laws in this country mean that you can't be guaranteed to go to work and come home safe. I think having a 5-year passport and the inconvenience of having to renew a passport every 5 years is right up there with that. And as my colleague says, that is a first world problem, Mr. Speaker. But I do want to commend my colleagues, the Honourables Phil Goff and Trevor Mallard, for their campaign to increase the expiry time of a passport to 10 years. So thank you very much for bringing that to the House's attention, and to the government for actually taking on what is a very good idea. And my acknowledgements to the Government Administration Select Committee for the hard work that they have been doing on this piece of legislation. So there has been a bit of public pressure to ensure that we can now have 10-year passports instead of 5-year passports. I know it is inconvenient especially to certain people in Invercargill, to renew their passports every 5 years. But the reason we actually had 5-year passports in the first place was in some part a result of what happened in 9/11. But technology and the ability to track individuals has advanced in those times. We have amazing technology with our passports, which means that we no longer have that requirement to renew so frequently. But that increase in technology also creates an issue which I think was acknowledged and discussed during the Select Committee stage, in that technology does move on, and having a 10-year passport means that, thank you, Mr. Speaker, may mean that we are no longer using the latest technology to protect the holders of those passports. I do want to make a comment on the requirement, not requiring the physical copy of your passport to be handed in to have it cancelled. That could potentially pose some problems. If we cancel passports electronically but don't have the physical document, there may be an opportunity to use that document in a fraudulent way. Mr. Speaker, I don't think there is much more to say on this bill. We do support it and I recommend it to the House. Thank you, Mr Speaker.